Okay, so today we're going to be doing a cardio kickboxing tutorial to help people out who haven't done a lot of kickboxing before, and maybe the cardio kempo class kind of throws them off a little bit. You're not sure exactly what you're doing. So we're going to start off by just going through a few of the exercises, through a few of the punches and kicks, and kind of explain how they're used, what to strike with, and that sort of thing. So we're going to start out with breathing. Okay, so breathing is very important. So typically you breathe out when you strike. Okay, so you don't breathe in when you're punching, right? Typically you go and in and in. All right, now if it's a double punch, it's a little bit different. You go like, you go a quick double breath like that. Okay, so typically you're going to be breathing out when you strike. In martial arts, sometimes it's called a kiai. So you shout when you are striking. You know, hi-ya! Right? Something like that. Yeah! Like that. Okay? So whether you're breathing out or you're vocalizing it, up to you. I don't like to vocalize so much. I like to kind of keep it quiet because if I'm fighting somebody and I don't want everybody to know about it, I want to be able to get the breath out, get the energy out without letting everybody else around know that I'm there. But if you want to scream when you do it, you can do that as well. Up to you. All right. Another one is your core. The core is very important when you're doing martial arts. You need to have a strong core for the kicks, for the punches. You're doing a lot of the strength comes from your core when you're throwing punches and kicks. You never just throw a punch like this, right? You always use the hip. The hip is part of the core. Boom, boom, versus, right? Not a lot of power there. The power comes from the hip, actually all the way up through the leg, through the hip, through the shoulder, into the hands. Okay, so core is very important. So you got to train your core quite a bit. So breathing and core also go together. You can do some breathing exercises. You breathe in through your nose, all the way down to your dandian, right below your belly button. You breathe in, you breathe out. When you breathe out, you exhale all the way, contract your stomach, breathe all the way out. So all the way. All right, so your breath and your core, very important in martial arts. So let's move on to strikes. Your hands are your weapons, and there are a number of different weapons. A lot of people just throw punches, right? So there's a lot of different things you can do. First, you should know how to make a fist correctly. So some people, they stick their thumbs out or they hide their thumbs. If you hide your thumbs, you're gonna break them. Okay, so you don't want to do that. If you leave them out, you're gonna jam them. You don't want to do that either. So you basically roll your fingers over and then roll them down and then put the thumbs over top. Okay? You want to try to keep the pinkies nice and tight so that you can get as flat as possible for your knuckles. You know, some people kind of curl them in like this and you have a kind of a curved edge. You don't want to have a curved edge. You want to try to keep them flat. See where that pinky is? You want to roll that up higher so that it's flat. Okay. Now, what do you strike with? Typically, you strike with the first two knuckles. Okay. Occasionally, in some Chinese boxing, you can strike with the pinky going along with your ulna bone. Boom. But typically, we strike with the two top knuckles, the two largest knuckles. You can strike vertically, straight ahead, or you can strike with a torque, a twist, boom, adds a little more to it. So, depends on the punch. You know, if you're going upper, if you're going straight, if you're coming across. So, different ways you can hold your hand, but you typically strike with the two knuckles. Now, there's more to it than just your knuckles. You've got this side of your hand. You've got this side of your hand. You've got your fingers. You've got middle knuckles. If you don't want to make a full fist, you make middle knuckles. You've got back knuckle. So if you strike backward, you've got a hammer fist. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that you can strike with. You can strike with one finger, you can strike with two fingers. So let's strike with the ridge hand. So you fold the thumb in and you're striking with the side. So that's good for throat shots, side of the neck shots, groin shots, boom. So what you do is you make that, hide that thumb, strike with the side. Okay, so as you're leaning off to the side, boom. Leaning off to the side, boom. That's the ridge hand. Then there's the chop. Everybody knows the chop, right? Boom. Chop is great for the neck, great for the throat. You can do a chop a number of different directions. This way, right? This way, right, to the groin. So either side of these, you know, it's skinnier than the fist. So if you need to get in somewhere thin, you can go in with a straight hand. Okay? So we got punches, punch, punch. We've got ridge hand, chop, chop. Of course, you can go fingers, double fingers. You can use your thumbs. You know, sometimes thumbs are good, especially for the eyes. So a lot of that going on. Back knuckle, this way. Hammer fist, this way. Or this way. Your back knuckle can be used this way, or also this way. So if somebody's standing behind you, boom. You can go hammer fist, and then back knuckle. Okay? So those are some of the things of your hands, different weapons of your hands. Then we go to the elbows. Okay, the elbows can be used in a number of different directions. Right? You can come straight across, boom. You can come up, boom. You can come down angular, boom, boom. You can come, if somebody's behind you, straight back to the solar plexus, boom. That's very good. So then you start combining elbow to the solar plexus, hammer fist to the groin, back knuckle to the face. So you can start combining different things other than just your punches. You know, everybody's punching all the time, okay? And then up. The uppercut, good for under the chin, boom, boom. You can take this way also. So if somebody's standing behind you, maybe they've got you like this, you can go boom. Also under the chin. All right, elbows are very strong. Maybe stronger than your fists. So if you get in really tight, also spacing and distance is very important. So here's your punching distance. If you're trying to throw a hook, you're too far away. This is good for jabs and crosses. You got to be closer to throw hooks. You got to be close to throw elbows. Okay, so if you're fighting in tight, good for the elbows. Maybe a little bit harder to get enough power behind a punch, so go with the elbows. Okay, moving on down. Let's go to the knees. Knees are very good for groin shots, shots to the solar plexus. Potentially good for the face if you can grab somebody's head and pull their head down, or if you're doing one of these flying, jumping knees. But typically you're going to go into the groin, into the midsection to try to get them, knock the wind out of them. Okay. Let's go down toward the feet. We've got all different kinds of kicks. So let's go with a wheel kick. Wheel kicks come around. It's like a wheel. You can go from the back leg, you can go from the front leg. Now, some people kick with their shin. Kicking with your shin is okay if you're hitting a softer target like a thigh or the gut. Right, so picture a guy standing here and his stomach's right here. You can go, boom, hit him with your shin. Or if it's their leg, take out their leg. If you hit somebody's shin with your shin, it's bone on bone because there's a bone right there. That's quite painful. If you want to test it out, call up your friend and say, hey, let's practice kicking shins. Okay? It's quite painful. So if you unless you've built up your shins, your shin bones, it could be painful. So wheel kicks can be with the shin, can be with kind of the shoelace part of the foot. Maybe good for taking across the face or taking out the leg or the stomach. Or if you're comfortable with it, you can peel back the toe and kick with the ball of the foot and in a wheel kick. Okay? Boom. Or if you have steel-toed shoes. The concern is that you don't want to jam your toes, right? So if you just leave your foot out straight, you might jam your toes. You have to be able to curl those toes back and kick with the ball of the foot, okay? Just so you understand how that wheel kick works. Next one are snap kicks. You can do the snap kick from the front or the back. Typically, you're going to kick with the ball of the foot. So again, you peel those toes back and snap it out. Up and snap. Same thing with the rear kick. It's a rear snap kick. Snap and back. Now if you're going for a groin shot, you want to come straight up. So you point your toe. And you can do the same thing with the back leg. And that's like kicking a football. If you've got a football, picture it that way. Boom. Okay? So when you do those, then you start making combinations. Snap, wheel. All right? Side kick. Side kick has different things, just like your hands have the edges. You have a knife edge on your foot. So you can either kick for a side kick with the flat of your foot. You can kick with the ball of your foot. You can kick with your heel, or you can bend your foot down and do a knife edge. Knife edge. Okay. So a lot of different ways to use your feet to kick. All right. So you've got the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, the ball of the foot, the complete flat part of the foot, the heel, and the knife edge. Okay. Some people do these kicks as well. You can use that inside of your foot as well. And then rear kick. Rear kick, you can use your heel. You can use the flat of your foot. You could potentially use the ball of your foot, but typically you're either going to go just flat or heel. Okay. Same thing with a spinning wheel kick going backwards. Forwards is this way. Backwards is this way. You're typically using your heel. 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 Okay. So what you want to do then is start putting all of those together, and you have to become comfortable with changing your weapons. Okay, so maybe you're going to go straight jab or a twisting jab and then a hook from the back, or a jab and an uppercut. You don't want to forget your hips when you're doing all of your punches and kicks. So you're 1, 2, hook, upper. 1, 2, ridge hand. 1, step in and elbow. Okay, so there's a lot of different things you can do. So let's practice just the jab. So jab, front hand, front foot, front hand, jab. So you want to practice this motion. Take this hip, boom, pop it across, pop it across. Pop it with the arm, not just the arm. And not one and then just the arm. You want to do simultaneous. Boom. Difference. 1, 1. Difference between hand only and hand with hip. Okay? So again, you can go vertical punches, straight, or you can rotate. So I rotate, do the hips back and forth. 1, 2. 1, 2. You want to bring the punches back to protect your face. You don't want to go punch and then drop. Punch and then drop. Okay, so punch, bring it back. Punch, bring it back. But you get into a habit of going punch and you drop, and that's when you get smacked in the face. So punch, 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 punch. You can speed it up. Don't forget your breathing. If you want to overemphasize your breathing just so you can get the hang of it. Okay, so you can practice your breathing. All right? Same thing with any strike. When you do your knees, just like you use your hips to generate power in your punches, you want to use your hips to generate power in the knee strike. If you just go like this, it's okay, but you want to push these hips forward. Really thrust those hips forward to get more power out of your knee. Same thing with your wheel kicks. Wheel kicks, you have to make sure you pivot on the front foot, because see where this foot is, if you try to throw a wheel kick and you don't move on that foot, you're just going to twist your knee, right? So if you want to practice, step around, step back, step around, step back, step around, step back, wheel kick, step back, wheel kick, bring it back, okay? Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. All right, so let's try 5 jabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 crosses from the back leg, back hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch sides. 5 jabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 crosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're moving those hips back and forth. Okay? Let's try a back knuckle. Back knuckle. Keep your hands up. Back knuckle. You can step in, shuffle back and forth. Footwork we haven't really talked about, but just practice kind of sliding back and forth. Back knuckle, hop out. Hop in, hop out. Hop in, hop out. Hammer fist. Boom. Maybe a little bit more power from the hammer fist in the back knuckle. Boom. Boom. Back knuckle. Hammer fist. Practice going back and forth, because you might need one or the other. You might want to go 1, 2. Then open it up. Hide the thumb. Chop. 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 We didn't talk about palms, the palms of your hands for a palm heel. Bring down the fingers, bring in the thumb. Good shot for the chin or the nose. You can open up and do a cupping motion. Good job for cupping the ears. Or a slap. When you typically slap, you don't want to slap with your fingers. It doesn't really do a whole lot. You want to slap with the full hand. So some people maybe not comfortable with punching because your wrists, if you have weak wrists and your wrists are not straight, your knuckle, your wrist could buckle and that will jack up your wrist. So some people, when they punch, they're weak and they go like this or they go like that. So sometimes rather than doing punches, some people will do a slap. That's reasonable. You can do that. About the bone alignment, when you throw a punch, we're talking about using these 2 knuckles. The wrist should be straight. So when you strike here, it's coming from your shoulder, which is coming from your hip, which is coming from your leg, right? So it goes straight out. If you punch like this, what's going to happen to the energy? It's going to make you buckle and it's going to jack up your wrist. If you punch a little bit like this, you're going to hit and it's going to go like that. Again, you jack up your wrists. Okay, so when you punch, you want to try to make sure that it's straight. See how that goes straight across? Straight. All right. So let's put together a few of these if you can practice. Let's try, we did the jab and the cross. Let's do a hook. So a hook, you're going to come, the elbow comes around for, it's almost like an elbow, but you're striking with the hand, right? So it's a good way to show this. So it's tight. You're going to try to catch them on the jaw. Across, across, across. Okay, and that easily turns into an elbow across. All right. Now, you know, when you've got rules and you're in boxing and whatnot, you can't use your elbows. So everything is a hook, hook, hook. No rules, elbow. Okay. You can do it from the front fist. Boom, boom, boom. Try to bring it back to cover. Don't go like this and then let it down. Boom, back up. Or you can do it from the back leg. Instead of a cross, you do a hook from the back. Boom, boom. Typically you want to try to set that up because this is a big hook. Some people can see it coming. They're going to duck. They might block, whatever. So you might want to go one and then hook. Let them block and then hook. Maybe do a hook from this side tight and then a big hook from that side. Okay, so you can get into different types of combinations as you work through it. But first, just kind of get comfortable with the strikes. Uppercuts. We don't really talk a lot about uppercuts. I typically like to do my uppercuts from the back hip and the back hand because it really has a lot of driving force. Although you can do it from the front. It's a little bit shorter, kind of like a front snap, front wheel kick versus a rear wheel kick. So the front snap kick is quick, but it's not as strong as a wheel kick from the back leg. So an uppercut from the front is quicker, boom, but it's maybe not as powerful as using that back hip to drive it in. Okay, when you do that, typically you're going to go for the solar plexus, you can go for the lower abs, or you could come up underneath for a shot to the chin. Okay, so you could do 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, elbow. So if you're in tight and you're hitting low, get their mind to focus lower, and then you come around high, okay? Because they're going to be trying to block down low, going like this. Maybe you got to open up, have an opening for a headshot, okay? So you always want to think about going high, low, high, low. So you might want to go jab, jab, cross, low, 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 high, high, low, up and down, because it's harder to defend if you're trying to go up and down all the time, right? If somebody's just shooting for your head all the time, it's pretty easy to stay blocked. But if somebody's going for here, you got to come down. Leaves an opening. If somebody's going for your legs, you got to either take it. If you have strong legs, you can take that maybe once or twice before it really starts getting painful. You know, you can block like that, block like that. But when you're worried about getting your legs kicked or your groin kicked, you kind of come down and you leave this a little bit open. So try to go up and down. It's always good to go like up, up, down, down, up, up, down. So you got taking their mind up and down. Okay. So let's run through a few. Let's go jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Okay. I'll stand this way. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. The hips go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The direction, straight, straight, hook, up. Different directions. Straight, straight, hook, up. Okay, try the other side. Straight, straight, hook, up. Hands up. Straight, straight, hook, up. One more time. Straight, straight, hook, up. Okay. Let's try straight, straight, hook. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, jab, hook. Switch sides. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, jab, hook. All right, let's say we're in a little bit closer. We're gonna go jab, jab, step in, and elbow. Jab, jab, elbow. Jab, jab, elbow. Jab, jab, elbow. Switching sides. Jab, jab, elbow. Jab, jab, elbow. Jab, jab, elbow. Okay. Let's go if we're tight. If we're tight, we're gonna go upper, 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 hook, grab, knee. Upper, 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 hook, hook, and knee. Or we could go hook, 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 grab knee. Hook, 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 grab knee. Okay, up or down, up and down, up and down. Okay, you can get into like double kicks. So, wheel, wheel. Wheel, wheel. First one, maybe do a few of these to the leg. Get him kind of thinking, he keeps hitting my leg, he keeps hitting my leg. And then you fake low, boom, boom, go up higher. Okay, so strategy is also very important if you're in a tournament or anything like that. If you're in a street fight, it might not take so long. So I don't know how much strategy you're going to need doing too many low kicks and then setting them up for a high kick. But you can go low kick, reset, high kick. You can go shot to the abs, wheel kick, back knuckle, side kick, wheel kick. So you need to just start putting together different combinations without losing your balance. All right, because that's what happens when you start getting fast. You start losing your balance. You start falling out of good technique. Okay, so you want to try to keep your technique good, which means staying centered, having a strong core. When you strike, don't strike and push yourself backward. Your intention, both mentally and physically, should be into whatever you're striking. So don't go, oh, and push yourself back. If he's solid, and you kick and he doesn't move, if you're flying backward, then your intention was not driving through. Okay? So you have to think through the back. When you punch, don't punch for the nose, punch for the back of the head. If you're just striking for the nose, you've lost all your power, right? So you want to strike all the way to the back. Boom. All the way to the back. All the way through. And then retract. Punch, retract. Okay? When you do a wheel kick, you don't kick to here. You kick all the way through back to here to get more power. When you do a side kick, and this is probably the most common one where you get thrown off, because you really have to sink your hip into this direction, whether it's a strike downward toward the knee or strike straight across toward the midsection, or if you've got the ability to strike up toward the chin, you have to go into it so that you don't get thrown back. Okay, so that's very important. Take this hip, stomp it like you're trying to start an old Harley Davidson or something with a kick start. So it's up, stomp, and down. Okay, think about trying to break a piece of wood or something with your foot. You want to stomp on it. You don't want to just tap it. Okay, same thing with the other side. Up, stomp, and back. Up, stomp, and back. All right, so wheel kicks, boom, make sure you pivot, boom, snap kick, boom, again, don't push yourself back, think through, snap kick from the back leg, think through, side kick, think through, punches, think through, think through. That's why you need the power of your hips. Elbows, same idea, boom. Same idea, up. Same idea, backward. If you're going for a solar plexus shot with your elbow, don't just stop here. Go all the way back. Go all the way down. All the way back through. all the way back through. Chops, all the way chop. Open hand, back knuckle, hammer fist. Notice how you unwind. Boom. Okay? Extra power comes from the hips. All right? All right. It's a quick 30 minutes. I know it's a little bit fast maybe. We can practice that some more, but just try all those different things out. We ran through a number of different punches, kicks, elbows, and just remember, breathing, core, intention, and all the different weapons that you have throughout your body. We didn't talk about using your forehead. We didn't talk about using your shoulder. We didn't talk about leg sweeps or anything like that. We'll save that for another day. But knuckles, inside of the hand, outside of the hand, palm, elbows, and always different directions, right? Different directions. You can use your hip to bump somebody out of the way or to help do a throw. Knees are powerful. Elbows are powerful. Feet, all different kinds of toes, flat of the foot, heel of the foot, side of the foot. Okay, so a lot of different things. If you want to write them down and then just try to practice a little bit. So the more you know, the better. The more comfortable you are using those different weapons that you have on your body, the better. So check all that out, try it out. And then we've got a ton of different workouts for you to try as well. So some with the bag, some just air boxing, just for a good cardio workout and good, just a little bit of fun punching and kicking. All right, so check out the website, ultimatehealth.coach, and make sure you go out and have a good day, and we'll see you next time.